They thought isolating you would make you weak, but instead it woke you up. Do you remember that season when everything suddenly became quiet? People disappeared, support disappeared, the energy around your life changed completely. At first, it hurt badly. You kept wondering, what happened? Why am I suddenly alone? Why does it feel like everybody pulled away at the same time? But now you're starting to understand something dangerous. That isolation was not the end of your life, it was the beginning of your awakening. See, certain people thought isolation would break you emotionally. They thought if they removed support, removed love, removed connection, you would collapse internally. Big mistake. Because instead of destroying you, that lonely season forced you to finally hear yourself clearly. No noise, no fake advice, no constant emotional interference. Just you and God. And that's where everything started changing. You started noticing things you ignored before: patterns, intentions, energy. The difference between people who truly cared about you and people who only enjoyed access to you. That isolation sharpened your discernment. See, when life becomes crowded, it's easy to miss things, easy to ignore red flags, easy to confuse easy attention with loyalty, but isolation removes distractions. Suddenly, you start seeing everything differently. And honestly, part of you needed that separation because there were too many voices around you, too many opinions, too many people influencing your emotions. You were carrying everybody else's energy while slowly losing yourself. So God allowed isolation, not to punish you, to wake you up. The Bible says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still. Notice that stillness reveals things noise cannot. That's why your thinking started changing during that season. You became more observant, more careful, more aware of who truly brings peace into your life and who only brings confusion. And let's be honest, some people became uncomfortable once you stopped chasing them, stopped begging for attention, stopped forcing connections, because your isolation broke emotional dependencies they benefited from. Now you think independently, move independently, protect your peace differently. That change is powerful. Yes, there were nights where the loneliness felt heavy, moments where silence felt painful, moments where you questioned your worth completely. But look at yourself now. You survived it. Not only survived it, you learned from it. That's what people did not expect. They expected isolation to weaken your spirit. Instead, it strengthened your relationship with yourself and with God. Now you no longer panic when people leave. You no longer feel desperate for validation. You no longer tolerate fake closeness just to avoid loneliness. That lesson changed your life permanently. Remember Elijah? God separated him from the noise before speaking clearly to him. Not through chaos, not through crowds, through stillness. That's what happened to you too. The silence became revelation. Now your eyes work differently. You notice manipulation faster. You notice fake concern faster. You notice who drains your peace faster. And certain people are uncomfortable with this new version of you because isolation made you harder to emotionally control. You stopped needing constant approval, stopped over explaining yourself. You stopped fighting for spaces where your presence was barely respected. Good. That exhaustion was unnecessary anyway. And hear this clearly: do not mistake isolation for abandonment. Some seasons become quiet because God is removing distractions from your life. You were too connected to noise, too connected to opinions, too connected to people who could not follow where your life is heading. That's why separation became necessary. And now you carry a calmness people do not fully understand, a deeper awareness, a stronger connection with God, a stronger connection with yourself. That transformation was born in isolation. Isolation didn't make you weak, it woke you up.